coming up on the Baller Alert Show.
Customer service in Atlanta is terrible.
Me, I always get treated based off of what I wear.
This is a real problem. Like, they really have to fix
wake-up calls
this.
for the city, though.
I've never had a bad experience at somewhere expensive.
I agree.
That's why if I do go somewhere that I'm not familiar with, I don't know anybody, I'm gonna make it expensive because I know what I'm gonna get.
One time for LaFonda. Man, as soon as I walk in, they give me the menu and water.
If somebody know they got a celebrity or somebody coming in, why do they get treated better than somebody that may eat here 4 times a month?
Don't you hate it when like the gratuities already included and then the people just act like an asshole anyway?
I don't like when the gratuities included and then you want me to tip more and then you don't get mad if I don't tip additionally.
I like gratuities added.
You already calculated for me. That's
right.
It. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a bad server,
if you have a bad server,
and the gratuities already included, is what I'm saying.
Well, if the gratuities already included and I have a bad server, I'm gonna say something to somebody.
Even going to a club to try to get into the club makes you feel like you're trying to go into like a penitentiary or somewhere to even get in, by the way these security guards treat people. You know, you go the bottle girls walking around with Rolexes on, they thinking they ain't even gotta serve the bottle.
Also, the man who discovered Summer Walker, Justice from LVRN.
I meet Summer for the first time. She brings Summer in. I meet Summer for the first time. Meeting was awful because she didn't speak.
How did that affect you guys when she didn't want to do certain things?
I was stressed. I mean, no, now she's a lot better. Mm-hmm. But I was stressed. I mean, because I'd never seen her before.
What was some of the challenges, signing somebody like Summer?
It's funny, right? And again, this is how you know you have a great artist or a special artist. You know, me and Summer will have conversations and she's just like, I'm like, yo, Summer, why'd you make that decision? Like, why did you do that? Or like, why did you, date that guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, mm-hmm. It's like I'd really be like trying to understand her perspective. And she's just like, I need something to write about.
Word with me, yeah, you know BT. Know how it go, shout out OCT. No real cap, call out what we see. Whole game ready, baller blitz on 3. No, you can't stand on your own 2 feet. I already know you can't ball with me. Come chop it up with the squad and me. They get a letter, they calling me. Baller alert. Baller alert. Baller alert. Baller alert.
Baller Alert, welcome to the Baller Alert Show podcast, available everywhere you get your podcast. Please continue to like, subscribe, and share our YouTube page at Baller Alert TV. I go by the name of Ferrari Simmons.
I go by the name, BT.
OCT with that.
Hey, everybody good?
Yeah.
Man, let's get into it. OCT.
All right, y'all. Today on the show, we got a great show for you guys. We got LVRN stopping in.
Hey,
yeah. Justice.
Yep, Justice in the building.
Cool pants on Instagram.
He wears cool pants, and he's actually a part of a label, LVRN, who discovered Summer Walker, or signed Summer Walker on.
Black. There's a lot of artists that's over there at LVRN.
What? BRS Cash.
Yep, Baby Take. But I, of course, we learned that they do management services and they're a label. They're a functioning label as well. So
And I'll wait till he talk about that when he come on the show.
Yeah, we got that coming up. But first off, we're going to start them off with a little headline highlights right here on the Baller Alert Show. Keith Lee, he came to Atlanta and gave some interesting reviews on a lot of restaurants.
He came at the perfect time, around Halloween time, because he was scaring the shit out of all these restaurant owners.
I think they wasn't expecting it either because they know who he was.
It started circulating online, and I don't know about other cities, but Atlanta's a one of a kind because he started getting death threats.
He was?
Yes, it was on the local news that his family started receiving death threats. Like, dude, these are black-owned businesses.
Facts.
You trying to put people out of work.
But no, he didn't put anybody. I watched him on TikTok. Too. He always make it very clear he's not trying to bash anybody. He's not trying to tell you. He's saying, this is my experience.
And he wants everybody to be treated fairly.
Yes, but Atlanta gonna overhype everything. Like, oh my God, this play, like I believe Kandi Burris.
I really just want to say I do appreciate Keith Lee for stopping by our restaurant and trying to show us love. It is very unfortunate that we couldn't serve him and his family. We would have loved to, okay? But he's right. We don't take to-go orders on the weekends, and the simple reason is because we do love and appreciate the people who come and support our restaurant. On the weekends, we get a lot of community support, people in our city that show up for us, as well as a lot of people from out of town. So with that being said, we don't want to overwhelm our kitchen by having to, have such long times for the people who are actually at the restaurant, plus having to do to-go orders, because obviously that would make the wait times even longer.
But her response wasn't negative.
No, it was good. It's professional.
It was cool.
Yeah.
I just felt like, but his family did start getting some.
But they gotta listen. They gotta stop answering.
The response that Milk and Honey initially did,
I didn't like that response.
Did you see this Keith Lee video about the real Milk and Honey?
And who is this Keith Lee?
Daddy, you don't know Keith Lee? Yeah.
No.
That gave me very much, hey, I'm rich, I'm successful, and I don't know who the heck this little social media guy is. I don't like when, because it's like people are getting these success off of these restaurants and stuff like that. And it's like, man, one thing that we can't do, man, we can't get to a certain point where we feel like, yo, I got money, so I have to be little people or just act like, because
it was condescending.
But honestly, everybody didn't know who Keith Lee was. Like, I really didn't know, because I'm not like a super TikTok watcher like that. But I did my research, and I'm like, okay, cool. But still, the treatment is the same. And I wonder what cities he's gonna go to next.
Man, wherever he going to next,
well, he said
they scared.
he's threatening to stop the tour now because of the death threats.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all, he's been getting death threats.
So I want to know this, guys. What is you guys' experience with Atlanta restaurants?
It depends. For me, I'm a guy who likes to dress very, very sports casual. So I can wear a Nike Tech suit to something dressed up. I'd be like, I hate dressing up. So I would rather I always like to wear a hat. I can have a fresh haircut and I still wear a hat. So I just like wearing hats. So sometimes I get treated weird when I walk into an establishment and I have a hat on backwards.
Like Lobster Bar?
Yeah, Lobster Bar, Chops, those places where you have to dress nice or, really have some type of a lower business casual attire. No hats, nice shoes and stuff like that. No cut off shirts and stuff like that. Me, I could wear a hoodie every day. So me, I always get treated based off of what I wear. So if I wear something nice, I'll be completely fine. But if I wear a hat backwards and I walk into a restaurant, they're talking to me like I ain't nobody.
Yeah, because a lot of athletes get turned away, in these Atlanta establishments if they go to like you said, a nice restaurant.
Yeah, so that's the only time. But I have definitely received some pretty bad service in some places, and it does make me feel sad because when you try to support local business, and I like to tip really big. Like I literally will tip almost as the same amount as the bill if the service is great. If the service is not great, I don't want to tip you anything. But I just hate when the service isn't good because I'm a great tipper because I know that the waitresses and waiters, they don't make any money for real. They make money off tips. So I'm a great tipper. I just wish that they would know that so, we can get the service. But I don't like to say that because I want to see how they really treat everybody. That's just me.
My experience with the restaurants in Atlanta has been terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy Keith Lee coming to the city and terrorizing everybody because, sometimes, things need to be, shook up a little bit. And a lot of people make fun of me because I go to the same places. Like the places that I like to go to, I normally go to establishment to where I know the manager who runs the restaurant or I know the owner. I know somebody there that is going to take care of me and is going to cater to me because a lot of these restaurants you go to, you get terrible service. People act like they don't want to be at work. Prime example, I just went to an establishment, not going to say. I went there. I called the phone to order the food because I don't like going to restaurants and sitting down. So I called to order the food to go. Phone don't work. Phone out of service.
That sucks. Yeah.
Phone out of service. I'm like, every restaurant in Atlanta, phone does not work. Anyways, I said, okay, I'm gonna just drive up there. It's like 2 o'clock, a little bit out the lunch hour, so it should be slow. I go in there, walk to the bar, sit at the bar for 15 minutes.
I hate that.
15 minutes.
No
Nobody greeted me. Nobody said, hey, how you doing? Hey, welcome in. I sat there for 15 minutes. Watch a lady make some tea for one of the customers. After she makes the tea, she just sitting there texting on her phone. Then she said, hey, are you placing an order? I said, I would like to place an order. And she was like, okay, I'll be right with you. I'm like, damn, I can't get no water. I can't get no nothing. So you know what I did? I waited another 5 minutes and walked right out of there. And I said, this is a prime example why I do not like going to restaurants in Atlanta, because anytime I go to Miami, I go to LA, I go to New York, I'm getting the best customer service. These restaurants in Atlanta are trash. I'm sorry.
Was that a black-owned place?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I've had some.
It's a popular place though. I don't know if it's
I've
black
never
owned.
had mediocre service. I've either had great service or
bad.
terrible service. I've never had, oh, this service was good. It's always either great. Like one time for La Fonda. Man, as soon as I walk in, they give me the menu and water.
Where's La Fonda?
La Fonda is on Howell Mill Road.
Yeah.
It's a little Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
As soon as I sit down, the chips, bowl, queso, waters.
See, it's
You
like,
don't
you
even
know
have
what
to
to
ask for
expect.
water.
You know what I realized? I've never had a bad experience at somewhere expensive.
I agree.
Anytime that's why if I do go somewhere that I'm not familiar with, I don't know anybody, I'm gonna make it expensive because I know what I'm gonna get. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna sit down. It's gonna be boom, 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 boom. I can eat and go home. It's not like, man, this person didn't even speak to me. You know what I mean? And you're working off customer service. And it's like you go to some establishments, you just know you walk in like, this is gonna be bad.
Understood.
This is gonna be bad. I could just look at the waitress' face. And if they look like they in a terrible mood, I said, this is gonna be bad.
I think a lot of times, when you're dealing with these local places, you got a lot of people, family who work in there, and they kind of probably feel like, it's whatever, versus if you go into like a chain restaurant like a Longhorn or to these establishments where the customer service could be iffy too, but they don't have no ties to the owner or anything like that, so they're legit working for a check. Like, when you walk into these local places, you're not getting anything comped. It's like, look, you gonna get what you get. You walk into like a Longhorn, have a bad experience, they comping your meal. They like
they gonna make sure you good.
Yeah.
The manager gonna come out of the blue, out of nowhere, and be like, "Hell,
I'll take care of this whole thing."
But I would say, if anything, from the gentleman that came to the market,
Keith Lee,
it's the conversation now. So hopefully, we could see some better customer service from all the rest, because you never know. That's always my thing. When I have bad customer service at a restaurant, I just say this: hey, you never know who someone is that's coming in here to eat. You never know who they can be.
And that's what I don't like.
Keith Lee is you never know who this person could be coming in your establishment.
Yep. Because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't like this whole narrative of if it's like, if somebody know they got a celebrity or somebody coming in, why do they get treated better than somebody that may eat here 4 times a month? This celebrity, they probably gonna come here twice a year. Or, next time they might send their assistant or somebody to grab them some food. And Cardi B she said something about it as well. It's like, yo, I've had to call and literally say, yo, this food
name
is for...
drop.
Yeah, I have to name drop to get good customer service. And that's bad.
That's bad.
I mean, and it's crazy in Atlanta, too. You got random hours. They open, they close,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I totally feel them on that.
And sometimes the food don't even be worth it, man. It's like...
Yeah, because then the order be wrong. We ain't even touch that.
Oh my gosh,
because the order could be completely wrong. You get that shit and you be like, bruh, you know what? I don't, man.
They got this is a real problem. Like they really have
wake
to
up
fix
call
this.
for the city though.
Yeah.
I think this is a good wake up call, or at least some type of attention for. I believe some people in my heart. I believe some people will say, you know what? We gotta do better, guys.
No, we do,
and
especially, and I know y'all don't want to make it about black or white restaurants, but a lot of these black establishments, you gonna get charged out the gate from the parking lot to the damn, food to
especially downtown. Downtown restaurants, you have to pay for parking. Mm-hmm. Anything downtown, if it's a nice restaurant, you have to pay to park somewhere. Man, to even get to the restaurant.
But I do like the places that have valet and their valet is
complimentary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I forgot. I went to a place that was like close to the airport, and I'd never been there before, and I'm assuming that it is black owned because it was a lot of black people working in there. But you just never know, right? But I got amazing customer service. I'm talking about from the valet, from walking in, from being greeted, from sitting down, and it's like when you go to places like that, that's where I'm like, I'm going to tip this person really well.
Yeah.
Because you never know. And you know, I never try to judge a place just on my first initial visit. Like if it's a bad experience, I try to go back again to see the experience again. But you know, that place, I was like, man, this is how you should be treated everywhere you go.
Well, let me tell you this. I had to go look up the restaurant because I just had this. I got invited out to a church. Not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. It was in Tucker, Georgia. And the place was called Catch Kitchen. When I say terrible service, terrible, and I hate to say it's a black-owned place, and it was just terrible. Like, you know, we sat down, the baby, we had, you know, my friend baby never got his drink, you know, to the end, and the waiter still charged for the drink. My friend never got her right food. Her husband's food was terrible. Had to ask for the manager taking 20 days to come over. We saw her over there having a conversation with the guy, just I guess trying to prepare, you know, came back and was like, well, he didn't he thought y'all wanted the drink to go.
No.
Damn, that was the first thing we ordered. Why would we want it to go? Like, what? Didn't even apologize for the waiter's behavior.
They didn't care.
Gosh, it was terrible. And I'm just like, and they just, I guess they just open, you know, but it's just like,
but still,
it was terrible.
Customer service should be at the highest of the high priority at any business. Customer service should be it.
But customer service, I want to even go even further into saying customer service in Atlanta is not even just the food, the restaurants, it's the clubs too.
That is really a whole episode.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like the customer service in Atlanta is terrible. I mean, even going to a club to try to get into the club makes you feel like you're trying to go into like a penitentiary or somewhere to even get in, by the way these security guards treat people. You know, you go, the bottle girls walking around with Rolexes on, they thinking they ain't even got to serve the bottles.
The club service, like you have the top tier clubs that are ran well, then you have your lower tier clubs where, you know, the customer service. Well, it don't have to be hole in the wall clubs. It could be a club that's not as big as the other clubs where as soon as you can just literally walk in a section and have a section, and now a waitress or a waiter will have to come serve you. Majority of the servers are all women anyway. I actually never seen a male waitress.
No, I don't.
A male waiter.
Yeah.
In the club, they're all girls. Now that I think about it. So now the service, like, how long does it take for them to bring your bottles out?
Man,
do they come? Are they nice? Are they friendly? You know. Because some of them, you make it seem like, all right, well, I know you got to tip me well, and it's just a whole thing. Like, it's a whole, really a whole thing.
Speaking of tipping, real quick, don't you hate it when like the gratuity's already included and then the people just act like an asshole anyway?
I don't like when the gratuity's included and then you want me to tip more, and then you don't get mad if I don't tip additionally.
Right.
Like, I see the gratuity. Like,
I like gratuities added.
I like it. So now you already calculated for me. That's right. Cool.
But if you have a bad server, and the gratuity's already included, is what I'm saying.
Well, if the gratuity's already included and I have a bad server, I'm gonna say something to somebody. I'm actually gonna complain. I've never really had an issue with that. I've had an issue where it's expected to me to do an additional tip.
Right.
And that's the problem I have, especially if the service was just subpar. If the service was astronomically great, I may give you cash as an additional tip. I don't know. But like I said, I'm a good tipper because I know waiters and waitresses don't make any money. I get it.
No, you think they don't make any money.
Well,
you think they don't make any money.
I know that they don't make money on slow nights.
Right.
They make zero, and it's a lot more slow nights than big nights, depending on who you work for and what club. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends, but yeah.
I don't, you know what I don't like? I really don't like the fact that I feel like, you know, in the city, you know, in Atlanta, I feel like it's going towards more like you gotta be somebody or know somebody to get great customer service.
Correct.
Because anytime I've ever been places where like somebody don't know me or don't recognize me, I always get bad service. It's like the weirdest shit ever. Like, I was in a club one time and I had ordered something and the girl was just acting like nonchalant, like she don't even work in the club. And you know, she's a bottle girl. And when she found out who I was, the service changed. Why does the service change?
I think
Why
that
does the
was one
service
of-
change when they find out who you are? I don't understand that.
I never understood.
But
I
that
never
was Keith
understood
Lee's
that.
point. He was like, his family got told an hour and a half wait time, and then he came in 5 minutes. We'll get you
Yeah,
right
man,
up.
that has a stop.
And that could be anywhere too, but it sucks. And I'm kind of glad Keith Lee is highlighting things like this because we can now see hopefully a change.
Yeah, hopefully, man. That's what it is. Customer service this episode. Before we
This episode definitely needs to be customer service. That's the name of this episode.
For sure. Before we get to our interview with LVRN Justice, y'all want to hit them off with a little bit of Players Ball?
It is time for the Players Ball.
Big baller. I'm a baller.
James Harden is now officially a Los Angeles Clipper. He has been traded. Him and PJ Tucker
I can't
From
believe
Philly, right?
from Philly.
I can't believe this.
76ers, now they play for the Los Angeles Clippers. They're not going to do good, I'm telling you.
Why?
Kawhi Leonard does not last a whole season. He always gets hurt.
Paul George doesn't either.
Paul George, I'm a real big Paul George fan. He's dope. Russell Westbrook, he's dope to me. I just think he's been having a bad rap
So
lately.
because you're not a Kawhi Leonard fan, you saying that
I like Kawhi Leonard.
But
He
you
just-
saying those guys are gonna.
Kawhi Leonard always gets hurt, bro. And
don't
he's a
understand
load management
why.
guy too. He does not play an entire NBA season.
I thought he's supposed to be a cyborg.
Well, apparently not. So James Harden, he's not going to be the Houston James Harden, guys. For people who thinks that they're just getting a brand name. That's all they're getting.
Yeah.
I would hope to see something dope, but I don't know. They were already a contender before he got over there. Kawhi Leonard just got hurt.
You know what I've been seeing online? Everybody's saying this team just looks good on paper.
Yeah, man.
We already know what it is because, first of all, how is Russell and James Harden?
Well, they really close.
Who's gonna come off the bench?
No, neither one of them.
So you telling me James?
It's going to be Russell Westbrook at point, James Harden at the 2, Paul George at the 3, Kawhi Leonard at the 4, and then the center guy, whoever the center guy is.
So you saying PJ Tucker? You don't think he's gonna start?
Oh, he's not starting. He's coming off the bench. He's definitely not starting.
Man, I just don't think these teams with all these. I think the Denver Nuggets showed us that these superstar teams with all these big mega stars that
They're
are
definitely not beating them.
Yeah, I feel like that doesn't matter anymore.
And they just lost to LeBron, who's in his 21st season. He dropped 35 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists against the Clippers. James Harden didn't play, but yeah.
I don't think James Harden is going to make a big difference. And I was a huge James Harden fan when he was playing in Houston because I never seen one player play against 5 people. James Harden would just do an ISO. Every
but
play he
he's
would do an
not like
ISO
that anymore. It's a wrap. It's literally I haven't seen him do that in a long time since he's been in Houston. So that's
Do you think I know we probably gonna get some slack about this, but do you think that that the 76ers are like cursed? They had Jimmy Butler.
They haven't won a championship since Dr. J in the 80s. So
Damn.
They have.
But
not
think
won a
about all the
championship since.
superstars they've had. They had Jimmy Butler, James Harden.
Yeah.
Who else
Joel
did they have?
Embiid still there, and then Ben Simmons was just a
Oh, I forgot about
breakdown.
Ben Simmons even played for them.
And he's playing good in Brooklyn right now. He hitting shots and all.
Yeah, but I mean, they still not gonna do nothing.
I'm upset for the Philly fan base. However, the only thing that's cool about Philly, they not tripping on the basketball team because the Eagles are good. They're 7-1. They play the Dallas Cowboys this weekend. Cowboys are 5-3. The Eagles are 7-1. They only lost 1 game.
Man, you know who I wonder. I wonder where Aaron Donald is gonna go because they saying the LA Rams is in talks of trading him.
Yeah,
I wonder where Derrick Henry is going. That's one of my favorite players on Madden with the stiff arm. So I said, man, if he go to
Dalvin Cook too, because he's frustrated with the Jets and because they haven't been using him. He was with Minnesota.
What about the Raiders?
I don't know.
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. Yeah, he's upset.
He gone.
Yeah,
he leaving.
They got to get rid
wasted.
of him.
Did you see the play when he was wide open?
3 wide
when
open
he was
plays.
wide open.
Jimmy Garoppolo overthrew him. And then also shout out to the Texas Rangers. They won the World Series.
Oh yeah, shout out Texas.
One time for them. Big deal.
Everybody said anybody but the Houston Astros. That's that's messed up. People tired of them winning.
I would say, they're very cocky. the team.
Oh,
The
gotcha.
baseball team is just very arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and this is the first in the Texas Rangers history of the franchise. The
Oh,
winner of the
wow.
World Series. Yep.
Yeah, they about to make a
They
whole
beat the
bunch
Arizona
of money.
Diamondbacks, who I don't even understood how they got there. But
Listen, I don't know too much about baseball.
I
so
don't
ain't
follow it that much. I just know my
Yeah.
nephew plays for the Washington Commanders. I mean, the Cleveland Guardians. Damn, look at me talking about football. The Cleveland Guardians.
Cavaliers.
Tristan McKenzie, that's my blood nephew. Salute.
I'm just kidding.
And he in baseball?
Yeah, your pitcher.
Damn, he making that money.
Birthday's coming up.
Well,
Anyway.
this was such a pleasant players' ball. You guys so friendly.
Yeah,
to
we
each
didn't
other.
argue. Yeah, we was on the
I
same
mean,
page.
it's
this
nothing to
time.
really argue about that's going on in sports other than, I mean, we kind of agree with the same thing.
I know y'all
think,
agreed on everything.
Usually.
Very nice.
yeah,
Usually we
this
don't-
Is,
usually
this
we
is
don't
rare.
agree.
This is really rare.
Yeah, we usually
Although
do
I
not
think
agree.
Denver is going back to the finals, and I also think it's going to be Denver Nuggets and it's going to be the Milwaukee Bucks. That's all I'm saying.
Another thing that we can agree on is Justice from LVRN is here on the Baller Alert show. We'll be right back.
He about to be dropping them gems.
We'll be right back, y'all.
Yo, what's going on? It's Justice wears cool pants here. I want you to do me a favor. Check out this episode on BallerAlert YouTube right now because there's a lot of gems, very insightful, and we had a lot of fun.
Justice LVRN in the building.
Yeah!
You got snap.
You got snap.
We snapping.
There we
We
go.
snapping. What's up, sir?
I go by the name of Justice, aka Justice wears cool pants, aka the Black Bobby Brown, even though Bobby Brown's already black. AKA
Like
the
Bobby Brown with dreads.
dark skin Peter Griffin.
Okay.
But I mean, just like all jokes aside, I started a company with my friends in 2013, 14. We started a company named LVRN, Love Renaissance. We started as a management company, grew into a record label. Now we're record label management production. Fully independent. I don't know. They say we're valued over like $100 million, but it's cool.
Damn.
Life.
Yeah, light flex. Oh,
I'm just, you just told me to introduce myself.
Yeah, as you should.
Okay, now this is the Baller Alert show now. How did you guys come up with the idea to start this LVRN together?
To be honest, it wasn't an idea. It was kind of like a passion, right? It was just like, I always loved music. Music, the culture of music, drove me to be who I am today, right? Like music saved my life, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like hearing Kanye West for the first time, like just made me believe in myself as a human. So, all these different things I feel like nurtured me and pushed me into trying to understand because there's no blueprint to get into music, right? Like there's no like, oh, go apply here. I remember I used to apply at Def Jam for internships. Like you're never getting that, right? Like, but I realized that, okay, cool. Like you have to show your value. So I started when I was leaving high school, I just started managing artists. I didn't really know what that meant, but all that being said, it kind of just continued to happen as like the growth happened. It wasn't really an idea, right?
Who's the earlier artist that?
I mean, do you want the ones that you might know, or
Give me a
the
couple
ones that
sprinkle.
didn't
Give me
make
a
it?
little, put a little salt.
You could tell the ones that made it.
Okay, I mean, the first few artists that we started with that actually like kind of got through the door was an artist named Rory. He was from Atlanta, actually.
Yeah, he is.
There was an artist named Q. He had the OG Bobby Johnson song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those are like the first few that like, oh, okay, like what's going on? And then we started to develop and kind of like hone in on our niche a little bit more, and kind of just define what it is that we're good at. You know what I'm saying? But
So who was the first artist that took off for you guys?
Drum was the first one technically.
Okay.
Oh, y'all had
Because-
Drum?
Yeah.
Okay.
Drum was the first one technically because Cha-Cha was kind of big, but like when Broccoli hit, that was a whole different, perspective. And then I want to say after that, we kind of pivoted into having like starting our record label, and the first artist on the record label that worked was Black. When we dropped his first song,
Man.
His
Yeah.
Problems.
Yeah, y'all struck gold with that one.
That went crazy.
Who or how? First, I want to talk about Drum briefly, real quick. Like who found Drum? Like how did that happen?
Drum was my partner Tunde.
One time for Tunde, that's my guy.
You know what I'm saying? He was on a blog called Pigeons and Planes. Blogs were important at the time. And he saw this EP that Drum had put out. He just had DM'd him like, yo, like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm in Virginia. He's like, cool, I'm gonna pull up. Tunde pulled up the next day, and Drum's like, yo, the fact that you flew in to see me the next
flew
day.
to Virginia.
Yeah, because he didn't have anything going on. He's like, yo, like, would you guys manage me? And that's kind of how it started.
Now, who found Black?
For me, the beautiful thing about life is relationships. It's one thing I learned very early. Like, you're only as good as your relationships, and your relationships are gonna determine if you're gonna sustain or not. And all the great things that have happened for me in life is through friends.
Yeah.
Like, when something great has come, it's been through a friend. And Black, obviously he's talented, but he was signed to Flow Rider, initially. Like,
I never knew that.
Yeah, he was like spending a lot of time in Miami or whatever. But he had friends that were in the city that we all knew, like Trizzy, Diamond. They did parties, and like you're like, yo, like our friend Black, like he needs some help. Like, can you figure it out? He sent the music. I heard his tone, and I'm just like, a tone like this is just one of those rare ones. So we met him, and it was instant. It clicked, and we already knew what we had to do. But we spent the whole year just developing before we put any music out.
Can you say that again?
We spent the whole year developing.
Which labels don't do that anymore.
So after that year was done, when we put out the first record, it worked.
So real quick, just to go back, did you want to do music at first? Were you like into rap? Were you a singer?
Every good executive is a failed artist. At one point in time, they try to rap.
I agree with that.
Try to do something, but like, again, it's just about knowing what you're good at. Your passion doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be the one that's on the mic.
So you used to try. So you used to rap, or what?
Yeah, like
I think everybody used to want to rap.
Like, I think I found some videos on Facebook, and what I'm saying, me trying to rap and shit. But like, can I curse in here? Yeah. But like, but I realized immediately, I was like, yo, I hate this. Like, I hate the way my voice sounds. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you want to be a part of it in some way.
Yeah, it's like my passion doesn't have to stop there, right? So I think, again, just like thinking back to my 8-year-old self, my 12-year-old self, like, yo, who are the people that I loved? Like, I loved Russell, I loved Puffy, I loved, JD. Like, I loved all these people, and like, oh, these are entrepreneurs, like, and they make it look cool, right? Because I also like the idea of like making sure that things look fun, and that's kind of how I pivoted.
Was that the same case for your partner?
Who? Which one?
Tunde?
Well, we have.
How many of you guys? It's 4, right?
It's 4.
Okay,
4
4
founders. It's 4 founders, and we just added a new partner, Amber.
One time for Amber.
Yep.
Amber Grimes.
But what was your question? Sorry.
Was that the same case, like where you guys kind of like trying to do your own thing and then you guys came together?
Yeah, we all went to the same college. We went to Georgia State. And everybody was kind of just doing their own thing, and I think it was just a mutual respect. But for me, like, to be honest, like, it was like kind of like a mastermind plan that I had, because I just knew that it took a village. So like, as I kind of started rolling into it, I was like, okay, cool. I need the right partners to help create, like what it is that I saw. But I just also, like, I'm very lucky, right? The idea of like, starting a company with your friends and having the same vision is very hard to do. I realize that it's a fucking blessing, right? To be honest. So I'm very lucky, but also, I was very intentional too, So
you had the idea for LVRN initially, right? Did you come up with the name, or did you get with your friends and then they came in?
Yeah. I did.
You came up with the name?
Yeah. I mean, it was a concept that I started my college dorm room.
So how did you pick who you wanted to be a part of this?
I mean, my partners, it was just organic. Again, it was just kind of one of those things where I just spent my time building relationships with people. Like, I'm just a people person, right? And like, I'm genuine about my approach. Like, I don't think we're all perfect, but like, I met Carlin, what I'm saying, who he did flyers for Selfish ENT, which was like a promo team, what I'm saying, on campus. And I'm like, yo, you do flyers, like, I need somebody that can do artwork, that's creative. And he's like, okay, cool. We just spend time, and as we spend time, I learned to know him deeper, right? I'm like, oh, you're actually talented from beyond just doing flyers. So like, would you just come, help me? And he did. Same with Sean. Same with Tunde. It was just like, I have a gift of getting people to believe in my ideas, and I think it just kind of happened that way, just organically. Really.
Question.
Yeah.
Was there any intent by saying, okay, I wanted to work for said record label, but I couldn't get the opportunity, so I made an opportunity myself?
Yeah, I wanted to work for Def Jam really bad. I remember to the point to where like I was lying to artists that I like wanted to like them give me a chance at managing me. Like, yo, I used to work for Def Jam. I used to intern for Def Jam. I used to intern for Def Jam. I never did, but like, you know what I'm saying? But like, again, you know, like I said, Russell was like a huge, you know, staple in terms of people that I looked at, and like he obviously created Def Jam. I just thought it was such an iconic label. So yeah, I mean,
So you guys start LVRN.
Mm-hmm.
You got your partners. You know, what was the plan? How did you guys, you know, what was the plan to make money?
Again, it's never been about the money for me, to be honest. I think I can say that for all my partners. For me, because I believe that being great at what you do, money is just a byproduct of excellence, right? So I just spent majority of my time just really spending and doing the education and trying to understand why certain artists work, why certain artists don't, why do I love certain artists, what are the common denominators, and really just strengthening my skill there, right? And everybody, I guess, was strengthening their skill at whatever it is that they did, and the time and the line, then we found the right artist, and we just poured all of our, you know, energy and resource and that 10,000 hours into these artists. And that's just the difference, right? Like, nobody had any money. I mean, we had some sacrifices, like I had to sell my car, you know, to shoot a music video. You know, Carlin had to sell all his, you know, shoes. Sean had to borrow some money from like a weird NFL player that he knew. I don't know. It's a lot of weird shit, but, you know, just had to do what we had to do, right? Like, there is no magical, you know, there was a drug. And I think, you know, what's interesting too, I think that's what makes our company really unique and our story really unique is we didn't come from the street per se, right? So like, you know, like gaining the respect or the notoriety on the street has been a little bit of a challenge because it's like, oh, like, I don't know him from like, you know, selling drugs or like doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not our background. So we're, you know, inner city, you know, educated Black kids, right? And it's our angle has been completely different. So no, it's not like Rockefeller, but you know, it's from the same perspective of just like, you know, grinding and like doing what you love. Right?
The concept of independence versus, you know, signing on with somebody.
I mean, you need partnerships, right? I think partnerships allow you to elevate. Partnerships allow you to expand your reach. But the spirit is the spirit of entrepreneurship. The spirit of creating something with people that you love. There's nothing better than making money with people that you love.
I like the way you articulated your soliloquy in my T.I. voice.
Now, what does that word mean?
A paragraph, like how he talked about everything. Okay. So anyway, I was going to say, where do we input Summer Walker?
So shout out to DJ Oso.
Okay, one time for Oso. She lit.
And Oso, me and her got really cool. And Oso had a roommate named Summer Walker. Right?
Is it the...
Hold on, I got you.
Okay.
So she had a roommate named Summer Walker, not the artist.
Okay.
Her name happens to be Summer Walker. Summer Walker, she is a talented visual artist. Okay. Right? And that was her roommate. And she had all these like cool, you know, projects she was working on or whatever. And in that time, we got a building. That was our first building. We got a building and we were working on building a studio. And I asked Summer, I'm like, yo, like, would you come and help me build the studio, like manage the studio and like really like do all the art and all that stuff in there? Because I really thought she was dope. And she said, yeah. So she came and we built a relationship for like a year and it was great. And, you know, she was taking care of the studio. We offered her a full-time job managing the studio and like it was great. And like a year later, she's like, yo, like I've been working on something or I've had my eye on something for a while. I think it would be great here. I'm like, what is it? She's like, well, one time I was Googling myself and because her name was Summer Walker. This girl named Summer Walker and I think she's dope. And she showed it to me. I'm like, she's dope. And obviously that was how that happened.
That easy?
I mean,
she Googled her
aligned?
name.
You call it easy or alignment?
That was aligned.
Yeah.
That was very aligned.
So she Googled her name and the artist Summer Walker came up.
Yeah.
And then okay, so what happens?
So she shows me the artist. I meet Summer for the first time. She brings Summer in. I meet Summer for the first time. Meeting was awful because she didn't speak.
I mean, that's kind of on brand.
No,
go ahead.
Very on brand. But again, she had a guitar and she had a face tattoo. And I'm like, I've never seen this before. This makes sense. That was it. I'm like, I'm signing her.
So what was the development stage of Summer Walker?
Summer is one of those rare artists. To be honest, she's one of those very rare artists that like, it was just written for her. Like, I always tell her, I'm like, yo, you're so lucky because she didn't have to go through the hardships of like artists that like get to a label, trying to get them to understand it, trying to get them to see it. And it's not like she got popular before she signed to a label either, right? So it's just like, but she just happened to just be aligned in that weird situation. And for her, she just had all these incredible stories because she's a great songwriter. And her voice is just one of those. And for her, it was just giving her the space and let her do what she does. And then she'll write her songs and she'll come back to us, and I'll just like, you know, like kind of like go through the better ones, you know, add some suggestions here and there. But man, her development process actually for Summer starts now, which is like getting outside of the concept of the bedroom. But when it came to the music, she didn't need any development. She was just special like that.
How did you guys as a label help her, you know, when she was, because she declined probably a lot because she didn't want to go out and, you know, she's very introverted. And with the award shows and being in so many appearances, how did that affect you guys when she didn't want to do certain things?
I was stressed. I mean, no, now she's a lot better. But I was stressed. I mean, because I'd never seen it before. But also, like, I think that for me, the best part about being an executive is understanding your artist and making things that is true to them palatable to the world, right? And I think that for her, understanding that she didn't want to do interviews or whatever it was, it made sense because she felt like she said it all in her music. She's like, there's nothing else I need to say to anybody. If you really want the answers or have the questions that you want to know about me, listen to my music. And that was the perspective. And like I said, luckily, I just feel like that it was just written for her. Because people just connected with her music so much, all the other stuff didn't really matter as much. Right?
So you weren't like, you ruining my relationships because you won't go do anything outside.
A few relationships have been ruined, but like if you stay hot,
right,
that is very true.
You're cool. You know what I'm saying? But no, I mean, like, I just, to be honest, like, I would love to take a lot of credit for, you know, Summer and like, you know, but I just do believe that she's just one of those talents. It's just one of those generational talents where it's just like, oh, okay. You know, I think the only thing that's in Summer's way is Summer. And I think that's the development. That's where we are today, where it's like trying to get past, you know, all of the things that she technically wouldn't normally do just to expand and grow her reach.
Yeah, her personality is starting to come out now. Yeah. You seeing it more like on the internet. And I know you kind of like rooting for that because, you know, you wanted to continue being, you know, a star and continue growing and stuff like that. Yeah. What was some of the challenges, you know, signing somebody like Summer?
The challenges? I mean, there's challenges every day. I mean, you know, that's like my little sister, but like at the end of the day, you know, it's funny, right? And again, this is how you know you have a great artist or a special artist. You know, me and Summer will have conversations and she's just like, I'm like, yo, Summer, why'd you make that decision? Or like, why did you do that? Or like, why did you, you know, date that guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, was like, I'd really be like trying to understand her perspective. And she's just like, I need something to write about. Damn. And I was just like, oh, like, you are an artist. You live vicariously through your art. She's like, yeah, it's my diary, right? So it's just like trying to manage an artist or trying to like keep an artist from not like going off the deep end, but still like doing what they need to do to get their material that's the hard part, right? Because like at the end of the day, like, you know, a lot of great artists have muses, and that's just kind of how she looks at it, right? And she lives unapologetically, which is interesting.
Question.
Yeah.
Now, what are some things that you had to endure or overcome? Because I know it wasn't all. Was it all positive?
No, I mean, it's mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? There's, you know, not wanting to tour. You know, like not wanting to do all these things that are important in the actual business, right? You know, that's actually growing your company, your employees. Like, bro, my life is hard, like really, really hard. But I can't complain because I think that's the joy of what it is that I do, problem solving and like really like creating a new way or a new way of thinking. So, you know, like our challenges, I mean, you know, getting the answer no. You know what I'm saying? Like just like everybody else, you know, our challenges, all right, cool. Like the music industry, you're also only as good as your next record. You know what I'm saying? So you have a record out or you don't have a record out, then it's like, oh, you're falling off. Like Like, bro, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? So trying to figure out how to, balance and maneuver, and also like just stay on your path. I think a huge part of my growing and my up and coming in this business is me starting to compare my success to other people. And I'm just like, oh, that's gonna like, you're gonna start to make decisions that actually aren't even authentically you.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest mistake that I feel like, I've made at certain points in my career. And I'm just like, bro, to be honest, like, what's meant for you is meant for you in the right timing. You know what I'm saying?
What does your personal life look like?
I'm just on the road for myself at this point. You know
trying to get something outside now. He ain't got time.
You don't got time? You don't got time for it?
No, for me, like how I look at my personal life, again, I look at my personal life the same way I look at my career life, right? It's just like, if I'm gonna do something, I wanna put my everything into it. Right? And, to be a boyfriend, to be a husband, or to be, a father, I feel like it takes intention. Yeah. And what I realized after like trying to balance, I'm like, yo, like, it's not the reality of where I am in my passion and where I am in my, my space. I'm like, yo, like, I'm just gonna do what I love, and it's okay, because every 7 years, you change consciousness. Your consciousness shifts every 7 years. So like after that 7, I might have a different feeling, and then I'll go into maybe being a father.
Did you grow up with that, with attentive parents or both parents in the household? Like you saying, you want to be intentional about, growing and developing a child or nurturing a relationship. Did you grow up seeing that?
Yeah, like I want to be a stay-at-home dad.
Okay.
To be honest, like.
Oh man, you in the wrong business.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, my goal right now, and it could change, but if you ask me today, my goal right now is like, I'm 31 now. By 40 to be retired. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, you're working your way to that, to your goal of being a
I've been working since I was 17. 31. It's a long time.
That is a long time.
Yeah.
Now you guys at one point was partnered with Interscope, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Interscope. I mean,
was that your first one? That was your first partnership with the major?
Only one.
What does the partnership look like? Is that distribution only?
It's a joint venture. So when we first signed Black again, and like the record took off, we ended up doing a joint venture with Interscope. Again, they were like our 50-50 partner. We did all the marketing, promoting, signing the artists. They gave us the money.
Okay, so 50-50. Okay.
So gotcha. what happened with Interscope? I know you said
nothing. I just think that, like, again, as you evolve and as the business changes and as you get success, things just start to look different. As you start to understand, like we have our own building that we bought, and
it was very nice, by the way.
Thank you.
I gotta go check it out.
You know what I'm saying? We have about 26 employees. Like, we're like.
So you saying
I got treated like I was at Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
we should did this thing.
My pleasure, Ferrari.
Oh,
it
wow.
was very nice.
At the point, you was pretty much like, we don't really need Interscope.
Yeah, I just think we're at the point where our business has matured to a point to where now we have to start to focus on our business and making the margins make a little bit more sense.
So are you independent?
Completely, yeah.
Right, but does Interscope own the previous summer albums?
Of course, yeah. We're partners on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
but going forward, if she was to drop a new project, it would be owned by you guys.
No, Summer is still with Interscope and LVRN.
Okay,
right?
gotcha.
Okay, she's still
the whole venture as a whole is just independent.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you guys prioritize the artists on who y'all want to put out? Let's say if Black wants to put out an album and Summer is ready to drop, do y'all kind of have to decide, okay, who we want to put out? Who to put the marketed dollars towards?
Luckily, we've never had that issue. Because R&B niggas is slow. So it works that way, you know what I'm saying? But if it came to it, I think we have to look at the plan. We have to look at the plan. It's not about the music. It's not about the money or whatever it is. We have to look at the plan. Who already has majority of things locked in stone? The music is one thing, but like there's a whole thing that's around, right? Like sometimes timing might even make sense, right? Like, if you're in the middle of a fucking breakup, it might just be urgent at that point. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you have a tour already routed, like, all those things I think we have to look at in totality. You know what I'm saying?
So going back real quick to the breakdown of LVRN and Interscope, will all of your artists be that way, signed to one label and then your label as well? Like
No. So moving forward, like I said, it's just we're completely independent. Where it's just like every artist like that we sign from here on out
will just be solely yours.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I know Baby Tate's on there, and she has a partnership with Warner.
Yeah. But Baby Tate, she's a management client.
She's a management client.
So
You know,
guys
our business is comprised in 3.
So you have management, label, and what?
Publishing.
Got it.
And now we're starting a TV and film department.
Yeah, because you were telling me off camera, thinking about doing a little podcast room.
Yeah,
Okay.
y'all doing it big. Now I got a question. So now is Division actually signed to you guys, or is that
A management client.
Management client.
Yeah.
So who's Division signed to?
Well, they're signed to OVO.
Oh.
Okay.
So you're kind of like Rock Nation. You guys have all these different departments under one umbrella. So they cover management,
Yeah.
like you said, publishing. They also
Yeah.
have sports though, but you guys, want to have the TV part.
Yeah, I'm trying to venture into sports. Any sports agents out there, holler at me. But anyways,
So basically, it's an umbrella, and then under the umbrella, we have different departments that.
yeah.
Okay, now do you manage a specific department? Does Tunde do a specific department? Amber, like
Man, I mean, I think that's like that's the growing pains, right?
Okay.
Where it's just like, that's why we have so many staff members.
yeah,
Because you have to separate the work. I think that where we are now, we just oversee and really just help and develop our talent that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like our people that work for us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, and also just like hiring the capable people. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to build a new department, you have to
Tunde,
hire
call me back.
the capable person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard, man. Like, the crazy thing about what we're doing is, you have a lot of friends that you grew up with and you try to give them opportunities and it just always fails.
Always.
It's heartbreaking,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you probably got a lot of friends that were friends with you in college and probably seeing you guys' success and like, hey man, give me a job.
So how do you say no?
How do I say no? Oh, I say no. If you get to know me, I'm very direct. Yeah.
Yeah, he a little asshole.
Yeah.
For anybody watching this, who may be in your shoes in college, like, man, this is my path. I want to take it. What is your advice for that person?
My advice for that person, well, number one, follow me on Instagram. I give advice every day.
What's your Instagram?
Justice Wears Cool Pants. Number 2, I will say, spend majority of the time understanding your craft better than anybody else around you. I think people really underestimate the importance of the education of whatever it is that you're doing. And education is not even in the perspective of just like I have to read some books. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of it also can have to do with experience, right? Just start it, right? You're going to learn a lot from failing. And I think that people are scared to fail, but I'm like, no, the trick about failing is just like fail fast. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to take 6 years failing super slow and tumbling. Like, nah, bro, just go ahead and get that shit over with in like 12 months. You'll learn a lot and you'll know what not to do. And you make the shit better. So like for me, I think that's the starting point. And the second part about it is just like really just priding yourself and surrounding yourself with people that have things to actually benefit you and whatever it is that you're doing. Because I really realize that majority of people's downfall is based on who they surround themselves with. You know what I'm saying? Like, see who I came with. I came with one of the smartest people I know. Like, you know what I'm saying? I met him maybe like 6 months ago.
Who is he?
We're tight.
Yeah, who's that?
Shout out to Abel. He's a designer based out of Atlanta, and he's incredible.
So what does he do?
He's a designer.
Like, exactly.
What did he design?
Everything.
Everything.
Album
Yes.
covers and
Album covers,
Abel looks smart.
architecture.
Okay.
He gonna make you some money.
he designed your office.
No, he didn't. I just met him 6 months ago.
Okay.
But I just, that's my guy now. Like,
Yeah.
you have to just keep people that like
That's dope.
that mean well in your life. And I feel like people get so attached to, relationships that were and not understanding that was supposed to last for a certain period of time. Now where you're going, your life has to reflect who's around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talking that talk.
You know what I'm saying?
So any new potential artists that you have coming up?
I mean, we have a few new artists that I'm really excited about. Shout out to an artist named Sad Boy. Shout out to an artist named Ayana. Don't kill me, but yeah, we have a lot.
Yeah, some of your artists
Just
gonna be
follow
mad.
you and
some,
check it out.
Yeah.
Some of them gonna be mad. You forgot. You forgot.
Shout
to shout them out.
Justice wear
Shout out
cool
to Alex
pants.
Vaughn. Shout out to Alex Vaughn.
Hey, Alex Vaughn, yeah, she's
You know
fire.
what I'm saying? Like
She's super
we
fire.
have some new artists that we're working with, and just trying to help them out. You know what I'm saying? And trying to help their dreams come true. Just don't waste my time
And money.
and money.
But you never know until you get into it, right?
You know pretty fast.
Okay.
Yeah. From what I'm realizing now, you learn to know pretty fast if an artist is gonna make it or not. You know, like Drake had this line, you know, where he said once, you know, like either you got it or you got it. The theory is brilliant. And I realized that like recently, I'm like, it's actually very simple. The common denominator in all the successful artists are there. You just have to pay attention to it. And over time, an artist will reveal themselves if they actually like meant to be, you know,
A star.
or not. Because yeah, anybody can be an artist. I think it's really just, are you going to be big?
How do you know though? What's like the main sign? The
What's
early
ingre-
signs of becoming a
do you
star.
look for specific ingredients?
It's intangibles, right? So like I can explain to you some of like the tangible ones, but some of the other stuff is intangible. But like some of the tangible ones is just like, again, having like a vision, right? Like I think that people come to you, say they make music, but it's like, yeah, music is one thing, but like you're a product, right? It's too many artists around, too much music around. You have to look at yourself as a product. And being a product, you have to have a vision, right? Like Nike's not just gonna throw shoes on the shelf. Like they have a vision. We're gonna sign athletes. We're gonna do Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a vision. And I think that a lot of artists don't understand. They just want to be famous. They just want to put out music, but they don't have a vision. They don't even know what their show's supposed to look like. They don't know what color palette they're gonna have. They don't even know what they're wearing. I don't even know what their friend's gonna look like on camera. Like all that's a part of a vision. You have to envision yourself being where you see yourself being.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, 9 times out of 10, you're probably not gonna make it unless you just happen to be special, which is once every like 6 years you find one of those.
And it depends on what you define as big. That's relative, you know, how big you want to go, because there's different levels of big. And I say you never know what an artist is really going to be, because I'm pretty sure you couldn't anticipate Summer not wanting to tour or not wanting to do interviews when you first signed her.
No, I knew. It was a part of her vision. That's what I'm saying. Like she had a vision. Her vision just wasn't like the average vision, but her vision was like, yo, I'm going to make music and I'm going to slide it under the door. Y'all niggas put it out and let me know.
And y'all were cool with that, right?
I'm cool with that because, again, you have to understand
Even though that came with a lot of stress.
The music reflected that vision. Like the music felt intimate. The music felt to yourself. The music felt dark. You know what I'm saying? Like all that made sense with her presentation
for
of
the
herself.
artist, but as far as the label, the business of it, you know, like you said, you had a lot of stressful days.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, because we're here to service the artist. To be completely honest, a record label is here to service artists. Yes, it's a business, so we had to make money, but the sole function of a record label is to service the artist and get the artist to as many people as we can get them to, right? And get people to like their music and buy into them. That's what the sole purpose of a record label is. So the artist, if the artist is the CEO of their business, right? Their business, and they don't have a vision, where does that put anybody at?
Nowhere.
We're just spending money throwing shit at the wall. So, you know.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
Well,
Justice wears cool pants.
y'all know what I mean?
What pants you got on today?
I have some ski pants on today.
You got some ski pants going?
Yeah. I bought them in Utah, Powder Mountain. Yeah, I think it was Utah. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
Shout out to Utah. It gets cold out there.
Well, Justice wears cool pants from LVRN. We appreciate you for stopping by the Baller Alert Show.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you, my brothers.
Before we get out of here, we do have a pep talk with Justice.
Hey, what's going on? It's Justice Wears Cool Pants, aka the Black Bobby Brown, even though Bobby Brown's already black. Here's my pep talk for you. If you're watching this and trying to wait for somebody to give you an opportunity, you're not gonna make it. Might as well just close your computer and just accept the L, or decide to take your future in your own hands.